Hashem name will be blessed forever and ever. Dedicate this to our class. The laws of Chol HaMoed. It's the days between the holidays. When we have learned some new discoveries, what we can do, what we cannot do, what's the source for it. And we try to answer, Be'ezrat Hashem, a very simple question. How many times a year we have Chol HaMoed? Twice.
Technically Passover and something. You're going to say
what are they? Pesach, for Pesach, and what about Shavuot? It's also a holiday.
He's in the 49 days.
What Shavuot? Why Shavuot doesn't have Chol HaMoed? It's a good question, right? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam she'akol nihyo b'dvoro.
Right. We believe Chol HaMoed is a quasi-Yom Tov. Partly Yom Tov. Like a Yom Tov. So the question is, 49 days, do we have the same restrictions? I'll leave it alone. You go do your thing.
You can drive on Yom Tov? No. You can drive on Chol HaMoed? Yes. There are some restrictions on Chol HaMoed. Let's try to figure what's up with that. And also, why Shavuot doesn't have Chol HaMoed? Okay, I'm sure you were wondering that as well. So when dedicated this to our class for Refuah Shelema, speedy recovery, you have any names?
Yes, Rabbi Shimon.
Ronen ben Ziona. Ronen ben Ziona. Shimon ben Simchat Yom Shalosh Shul Bedlam. You know what? Let's start with the question about Chol HaMoed of Shavuot. Why we don't have Chol HaMoed of Shavuot. So I'm going to share with you, Be'ezrat Hashem, two reasons. All right? It says in the Midrash, simply, it's a technical thing. What does that mean? It means that the Midrash says, we ask why Shavuot doesn't have Chol HaMoed. Okay? Because technically Shavuot fell on the time that the people of Israel, are busy with harvesting and collecting from the field. It requires a lot of work. Even today, when you have tractors and big machines, okay, you have obviously bigger fields to cover. It's a lot of work. One of my friends that passed away has an orchard of peaches, okay, and some flowers also they had. And sometimes I used to join him to work there as volunteering, helping my friend. Let me tell you, this guy's waking up around 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier, to start the day early and to finish early, and requires a lot of work, and the work is really tiring. You want to go after that to sleep, and you just collapse. Working as a farmer, it's not a game. It's not a walk in the park. So it's a lot of work, and also harvesting and collecting fruits from the trees. And the Midrash says, Kodesh Baruch Hu was Chas al Mamonam. He's careful about his people monetary status, and he doesn't want them to lose time. So therefore, he let them get them off the hook. Meaning, Shavuot, it's maybe the busiest time of the year. So you guys off the hook, and you don't have Chol HaMoed. All right, and that's one of the reasons. Sukkot and Pesach, much less than that. So they have the kedusha of the 7 days. You can find it on the Sifri, on Dvarim, the book of Deuteronomy, on the Parshat Re'eh. The second reason why Shavuot does not have Chol HaMoed is same as at the very end of Sukkot we have the 8th day, which is Shmini Atzeret. On Passover we have the 8th day also that we're celebrating. So the whole 49 days that you mentioned, the whole purpose of coming out of Egypt, okay, is in order for receiving the Torah. That's the whole idea. So the beginning was leaving Egypt, right? Pesach. And the very end is Shavuot. So our sages counting the days of the Omer as if they are Chol HaMoed. Okay? It's the Chol HaMoed, the days that we have before the holiday. Shavuot is the seal, the finish, this special time, the end of this special time between leaving Egypt, Passover, till Shavuot. Because the purpose was receiving the Torah, and they were starting this journey, leaving Egypt, we have the Seder night, and receiving the Torah on Shavuot, on the 6th of Nisan. Nonetheless, it's debatable in the Talmud if it was the 6th or the 7th, but bottom line, the Torah was ready to be given on the 6th, but Moshe asked for extra day, it was 7th, doesn't matter right now. It means that that's the reason. So two reasons why we don't have Chol HaMoed on Shavuot. One, technical, busy. Hashem gave you time to do your thing, so you have great parnasah with no interruption. And because of the second reason, the Ramban, that was the Nachmanides interpretation, is Perush on Parashat Emor, that the beginning of leaving Egypt, which is Pesach, the purpose was to get the Torah. We received the Torah on Shavuot, so the whole 49 days consider as if we have Chol HaMoed. This Kedusha is connected. Pesach and Shavuot connected with these days in between. Okay? So, let's dive into the halacha and let's see what are the requirements during Chol HaMoed. Every year we get from the community same questions. Rabbi, can I work on Chol HaMoed? Can I open my store on Chol HaMoed? Can I go to the office on Chol HaMoed? Can I trim my hair? Can I trim my fingernails? Can I wash my clothing? And so forth and so on. Every year, same questions. Okay? We don't get upset. We're happy that you have questions, but I'm just pointing out it's important. It's important topics to cover. All right? The 5 days between the first and the 7 days of Pesach, and the 6 days between the first day of Sukkot and the festival of Shemini Atzer are called Chol HaMoed. Chol in Hebrew means, literally means Chol, means Chet Vav Lamed, means sand, Chol. It also means mundane, regular. Like we're saying, Yom Chol, a mundane days. Sunday to Friday is a mundane days, right? Yemei Chol, Yemei Chol. This is Chol HaMoed. So if this is mundane, it's connected to the Moed, which is in the Chag. Why it has special status? Let's treat it like a regular day of the week. Let's go to work. Let's open the store. What about writing? The halacha is very strict about that as well. Simple writing. I can write a letter to someone. People not aware of many halachot that related to Chol HaMoed. So we need to cover that, Be'ezrat Hashem. So these days, Pesach and Shavuot and Sukkot, we have days that called Chol HaMoed. It's always between the holidays, the first and the last, between. The Torah in Vayikra 23:37 refers to these days as Mikra'e Kodesh. Mikra'e Kodesh. They are considered, there's some holiness in it, and they called Kodesh, there's Kedusha in them. There's special sacrifices in the Beit HaMikdash. This is why we have the Tfilat of Musaf, special Tfilah of Musaf. It's not just a regular day. Compared to the holiday, is a mundane day. Okay? But it's not regular like during the week. It is especially important to devote time to Torah study during Chol HaMoed. This is the ideal way to fulfill the mitzvah of rejoicing during the festival, since God's laws are just, they gladden the heart, as it says in Psalms 19:9. He says, Pikudei Hashem yesharim mesamchei lev. God's laws are just, they gladden the heart. Remember one of the tips that we give to someone that has, God forbid, anxiety, depression. He said, he's upset. Something happened with work, with wife, with husband, whatever the reason. Open Sefer Torah, open Chumash, open Tehillim, start to read. That will heal the neshama. It will remove the sadness, because Pikudei Hashem Yesharim, the words of God, Mesamchela, will bring joy to your heart. Trust me, it works. Okay? It is forbidden to perform acts of melacha on Chol HaMoed, so that we differentiate these days from ordinary weekdays. So far, so good. Any questions? You got it? It is important to display honor for these days by wearing fresh, clean clothing. So, we should make efforts to dress up during Chol HaMoed, not like we usually dress up during the regular mundane days, during the year. Those who wear white shirts and a tie and a suit, you won't notice probably. But some people that have special suits they're wearing for the regular days, and they have special suits for Shabbat. Okay? I don't wear the same for Shabbat. Shabbat I have special suits, and I have regular for the mundane days. We have to show Shabbat is more important. Not to mention those that come to the tefillah or whatever, Shabbat, they're wearing very regular clothing, like this is a mundane day. They show no respect. T-shirts and jeans. It's expensive T-shirt. It's $200 T-shirt. I don't think it's appropriate. We're always saying, someone sent me these funny things this week. I think it was yesterday or today. Yesterday, doesn't matter. He sent me, we're always saying to those, would you wear that if you meet President Trump? Right? You won't wear that, right? There's dressing code. So someone sent me a picture with Trump talking with the Saudi leader, and he showed that he has sandals, pointing the sandals. For those who are saying that it's not appropriate to wear sandals when you meet Trump, just think, I got to send you this picture. So feel free to wear sandals. No, I'm not. Okay. So we learned that it is important to display honor for these days by wearing fresh, clean clothing and to serve meals more festive than ordinarily served. Okay? It is best to eat bread both at dinner, in the evening, and in the daytime meals. Because we're going to say special Birkat HaMazon with Ya'aleh V'Yavo. I want to show the importance of these days. If it's really hard for you to eat too much bread, just eat a size of an egg of bread and it's good enough. It's really nothing. It's maybe one slice of bread.
Do you do Shir HaMalos and Chol HaMoed?
Shir HaMalos, you can say it every day. It's not related, it's not specialized for Shabbat. There's people used to say it on Shabbat because some doing Birkat HaMazon only on Shabbat, for whatever reason. And some, they don't ever do Birkat HaMazon unless they're Shabbat, they're with people. But Shir HaMalos you can always say, some says Lam Natzeh, there's different psalms you can say before Birkat HaMazon. It's not mandatory, but it's a great thing to do. To say. Okay, so the Torah commands us, Chol HaMoed, to be joyful during Chol HaMoed. As I mentioned before, it's not an easy mitzvah to do. What do you mean? It's not an easy mitzvah to be besimcha, to be with joy? Let's play music, let's say some jokes, let's dance, let's sing, why not? The Gaon Vilna said, the mitzvah, V'samachta b'chagecha v'hayita ach sameach. The Torah says you should be glad and should be with joy during the holidays. V'hayita, and you should be only sameach. Meaning you have to be all the time sameach. So the Gaon Vilna says, It's one of the hardest mitzvot in the Torah. Why? He says, I can be happy for half an hour, 2 hours. You want 24/7 to be happy? Meaning, if I get upset a little bit, I transgress a law from the Torah. See how they looked at the mitzvot. I don't know if these guys can see me. I'm sorry. You can hear me, right? The Zoom group. Okay. So, Zoom guy, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, fine.
We can.
Okay, so what did I say? Oh, to be joyful. To be joyful. So it's not an easy mitzvah to do, but at least we can make efforts. We can make efforts to be happy. And what makes a person happy? The Torah says, wine. Wine. What else?
Food.
Food. What kind of food? Meat. You say people, hey, let's do barbecue tonight. People think, when they be invited for barbecue, they get happy. They're happy. Something in the meat, eating steak makes them happy. So anyway, the Torah says it's a mitzvah to drink wine and to eat meat during the holidays. Right? So we should make efforts to do that as well, to barbecue. And there's another mitzvah that I think women like the most.
For the men to go study.
The men do the dishes, you said? Now, hold on a second. One should celebrate it by eating meat, beef, or mutton, and by drinking wine. A man should gladden his wife with gifts of festive garments or jewelry. It is commendable to keep the table covered with a tablecloth throughout the Chol HaMoed. You hear that, Moshe? Yeah. Did you take notes, Zipporah? Any holiday, I need to buy you jewelry.
Can we repeat it when Jeff comes?
Halacha. Not that she wants. The halacha says you have to give. Okay. So who show up after? I have to repeat it again. So let's summarize it. Hey, shalom. How are you? We didn't notice you were late. Alechem shalom. We just want to summarize the less halacha. The halacha teaches us, and this is a mandatory, or you can choose yes or no. It's mandatory, right?
Yeah, it's halacha.
Mandatory. It's halacha. Halacha says on Chol HaMoed, the holidays, before the holidays, the husband must gladden his wife with buying her clothing and jewelry. Why are you not taking notes?
I have a good memory.
Good memory, right? Don't worry, someone else will remind you if you'll forget. You know how you never forget your wife's birthday? You need to forget it one time. That's it. Tov. So it's debatable in the halacha if, I'm going to skip it, it's really long, if doing work during Chol HaMoed, it's prohibition from the Torah, or it's a rabbinical. In practice, many poskim insisted that the restrictions of performing melacha on Chol HaMoed are only an institution of our sages, and this is in the opinion of the Maran Shulchan Aruch as well. Therefore, wherever a particular halacha is disputed among the poskim, we may rule according to the lenient opinion based on the general rule of Sefek Derabanan Lekuda. We have a debate in things that related to Torah. You have to be more strict. If this is a rabbinical derived halacha, we can be a little bit more lenient. All right? And I gave you the example of Birkat Hamazon. Did I say Birkat Hamazon? I didn't say Birkat Hamazon. So, what do? You have to do it. Why? Because the Torah says you can. But if I didn't say She'akol, did I say She'akol? I didn't say She'akol. This is a rabbinical law. So better don't say Baha, because maybe you did it already. If you know for sure you didn't, as long as there's water here, okay, you must say the Bracha. Okay, Following this reasoning, there is a basis to permit performing an act that will result in the melacha being performed if that is not the intention of the person who performs the act, even if it is inevitable for this act of melacha to take place through his action, meaning that it is pesik. What is this? Pesik reshe. Pesik reshe. It's something that will definitely happen. Okay. It nevertheless is permissible since the act of melacha is forbidden by our sages and not by the Torah. So. All right. Bottom line, let me just read the last two lines and we'll see more examples about it. Okay. This follows the rule of devar she'eno mitkaven ufsik reishe de b'derabbanon is permissible. Many poskim ruled that it is permissible even on Shabbat, so certainly we may permit it on Chol HaMoed. Very simple rule. Yes? We get into it. Get to it. Chol HaMoed. You know, there's a restriction regarding traveling beyond the tchum of Shabbat. Walking from a distance outside of the Eruv and all that. Same Shabbat, same for Yom Tov. Right? What about the Chol HaMoed? Do we have a problem of riding over the tchum? So it's well known that there is no restrictions regarding traveling beyond the tchum on Chol HaMoed. One may travel even further than 12 mil, which is 7.16 miles. The mil or the mile the Talmud is referring to is almost a kilometer. It's 960 something. Furthermore, there is no prohibition against transferring items from one domain to another on Chol HaMoed. Okay. What's the idea of one should not work or stop work of any type of labor on Chol HaMoed? We'll see what kind of special work you may do. But why? Because people on Chol HaMoed, what's the expectation? Is that you enjoy from the holiday. You need to understand, in the past, many years ago, a Yid would go and travel all the way to Yerushalayim. It was a time of celebration, unbelievable celebrations. Israeli flags all over. You would see people barbecuing all over, all the way to Yerushalayim. It's Aliyah L'Regel, it's a must, you got to go there. People in Yerushalayim were hosting people in their house and in the backyard, and people would sleep, it was beautiful, all over. And B'ezrat Hashem, we're waiting soon that these times will come back. Mashiach comes. Beis Mikdash, we have a reason to go 3 times a year. Right now we go whenever we want. We go to Yisrael, go to Yerushalayim, but now it's a must, every Jew, to go to Yerushalayim. And Mashiach comes, Beis Mikdash, 3 times a year. It was very happy days back then. So people mainly dealt with the joyful things and learning, and there was a big classes and fun classes and whatever, any class of Torah you would like to, any level you would join. It was really beautiful. Today, for many years, we don't have it. So people tend to deal with mundane things. They get bored. So either they want to go to work or they want to go have a trip or a cruise. They're doing other things. The idea is that ochlim, shotim, usmechim, eating, drinking, and being happy during the holiday. And the idea is that half of the time you'll be for yourself, and half of the time will be for Hashem, every holiday. So arrange the day in a way that you eat and drink and celebrate, and you have also time to learn Torah. Okay? Let's talk a little bit about, let me read this part, and then we'll talk about taking a haircut. The Talmud Yerushalmi teaches in Moed Katan 2:3, chapter 2, halacha 3. Rabbi Abba Bar Mamal said, if I would have to support of another colleague, I will declare that it is permissible to perform acts of melacha on Chol HaMoed. Our sages forbade acts of melacha so that people should have time to eat, drink, and to devote themselves to Torah study. Instead, people spend their time eating, drinking, and engaging in foolish activities. We see from this that we are obligated to refrain from wasteful, foolish activities during Chol HaMoed, and that the sin of engaging in such activity is worse in heaven's eyes than that of performing acts of melacha during the Chol HaMoed. The entire purpose of celebrating the Torah's festivals is in order to strengthen our relationship with God, with His Torah and with His mitzvot. Okay. Any question? It's clear? Good. You're still thinking about the jewelry and the thing?
I was wondering, so during the Chol HaMoed,
Make a list.
Yeah.
Shavuot is around the corner.
is it the yellow gold or the white gold?
Yellow.
Sapphires, rubies, I don't know.
Hashem will provide.
Hey,
Don't worry. If you are worrying, we're thinking that Hashem will not provide. I said, Hashem, you said you have to make the wives happy. It's your problem. You need to provide me to buy it. It's not my problem.
I'll leave the list.
I was wondering about on the Chol HaMoed, acts of malachot, like say for instance, you're chopping wood for a fire. You can do malacha like that, right? You're just not supposed to do.
So we'll see. Everything that is related to ochel nefesh, anything that is related to preparing food, it's permitted. Nonetheless, it's a hard work. A hard work, even in Shabbat, it's permitted. Okay? Melacha on Shabbat is not permitted. Hard work on Shabbat, it's permitted. For example, if I have a class here, and there's no chair and table, I can ask a friend to go and help me. For an hour, we're going up and down, sweat, to bring tables, and it's a hard work. It's permitted. You understand what I'm saying? Our sages in Moed Katan instituted a rule prohibiting people from cutting their hair or shaving during Chol HaMoed. What's the big deal? Lama lo? ¿Por qué no? Why not? What's the problem? It'll take me 10 minutes, finish. 15 minutes. What's the big deal? Did you know that Chol HaMoed you're not supposed to take a haircut? Huh? Okay. This is what we're here for. Although this is an act that is performed for the sake of celebrating the festival properly by improving one's appearance, right? Our sages forbade to encourage people to have their haircut before the advent of the festival, before the festival comes. You will see a lot of pressure during Hagim. I get some calls. Rabbi, do you know where's a good barber? There's a Jewish barber. They always call me before the holiday or the same day. Okay. So when I had my family member, Nachman, came for before Pesach, and he stayed with us, and for Sunday, right? Remember that? So he was helping a lot of people. He did like a Jewish. No, it's not before Pesach. It was before Sukkot, I think. Yeah, before Sukkot. Yo, time passed so fast. So I had a lot of people from the shul, from other people coming. They came beginning to my house to do haircuts before the holiday. The pressure. They can do it during the Chag. So we'll see what's the reason. So the reason we already shared, right? So you prepare yourself before the holiday. But there's more into it. If it would be permitted to cut hair during Chol HaMoed, people might take advantage of it and postpone their haircuts until Chol HaMoed, thus beginning the festival looking unkempt, like neglected.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's not proper appearance. Okay. See the commentary of Rashi, Rambam, and see the halacha in a second. Maran ruled. Who is Maran? Rabbi Yosef Karo. Anytime we're saying Maran, we're relating to Rabbi Yosef Karo, the author of the Shulchan Aruch. Maran ruled in the Shulchan Aruch 531.3 that even if it was impossible for someone to have his haircut on the day preceding Yom Tov, he nevertheless may not cut his hair. Oh, I was busy. Busy, shmizy, fight time. Even so, you know when you have time? When you're busy. It's a rule we're saying, in Hebrew we're saying, she'en zman yesh zman, she'yesh zman en zman. Meaning, let me try to translate it. When you don't have time, you have time. When you have time, you don't have time. See, always those people that don't have time, they're always busy, they can squeeze you into their schedule. But sometimes they lay back, it doesn't do anything. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, and I can do it today, maybe next week. You have time, but you don't really have time. You know what I'm saying? Is it true or not?
True.
That's right. Even so, there are several situations where our sages gave dispensation and permitted an individual to cut his hair on Chol HaMoed. One example is if someone was imprisoned and was released during Chol HaMoed. So he couldn't do it. Okay? We'll see it in Halacha 5, Bezrat Hashem more. The Mishnah Berurah, Ashkenazim, 531.5, explained that our sages permitted haircuts in these exceptional cases only since any witness to this person cutting his hair is most likely aware why he was unable to cut his hair before Yom Tov. He was in prison, everybody know. All the community know that he's in prison. Everyone surely heard that this person was in prison and has now been released. However, if someone was incapable of cutting his hair before Yom Tov because he was busy all day searching for some lost valuables, a witness to him cutting his hair on Chol HaMoed might not be aware that he was incapable of doing it before Chol HaMoed, before Yom Tov. And that witness might derive from this that there is no prohibition against cutting hair on Chol HaMoed at all. See, the halacha many times mention the onlooker, those who observe you from a distance, or they can learn from your behavior things in life that can be permitted or prohibited, and derive conclusion from it and act like that when actually you committed a sin, they committed a sin, and you don't even know it, and they've been doing it for years because they saw you one time doing this. So you have responsibility. The responsibility is so heavy. You understand what I'm saying? This is in regards to halacha. Imagine to yourself with other, human traits, how much we need to be careful. People watching us and can learn from us, and this is already at the department of Chilul Hashem comes. Something, food for thoughts, I was saying. Okay. Now that was the introduction. Let's talk technically about this halachot, and we, Bezrat Hashem, will start to talk today about trimming fingernails also. Trimming fingernails, by the way, it's permitted or prohibited in Chol HaMoed?
Must be prohibited.
See, machlokes, you disagree here. Let's see. Let's cover the giluach v'tisporet b'chol hamoed, haircuts and shaving on Chol HaMoed. It's a Siman 531. It is a meritorious act to cut one's hair and shave before Yom Tov in honor of the festival, so that one will not appear unkempt when Yom Tov begins. It's also great to say, I'm shaving for Yom Tov. I'm taking a haircut for the sake of Yom Tov. I'm taking a bath. I'm bathing for the sake of Yom Tov. You get an extra mitzvah for doing everything you do, cooking, buying, grocery, whatever you do, say for the sake of the Chag, for the sake of Shabbat, and these kind of things. Okay?
Is it sufficient to think it?
It is. It's better to say it out loud. Okay, because it's debatable if thinking kavana is good enough. According to Rambam, yes, b'diavad.
It's better just
say it. Every time before I shave, I say, I'm saying it outside of the shower, because I'm not saying it in the shower. I'm shaving before, for the L'chvot Shabbat, for the sake of Shabbat, and then go in and I do the shaving. You're cooking, everything you do, salad for the sake of Shabbat. You can say it 10 times, 100 times. Every time you get an extra mitzvah, so why not?
You just made me think of something, when you said something about not saying it in the shower. I got these light covers, the light switch for Shabbat. It says Shabbat Kodesh in Hebrew. Can I put that in the bathroom light switch?
Yes, of course. That's the purpose of them.
But I didn't know if I could put it in the bathroom because it says Shabbat Kodesh.
Oh, and the wording in it?
It says Shabbat Kodesh. It doesn't say anything.
Is it inside? Is it inside? The switch is inside the shower?
This is in the bathroom.
Inside the
bathroom.
Outside the bathroom?
It's
In the bathroom, not on the shower.
Outside the bathroom.
It's inside.
Inside, so it might be a problem. Someone showed me yesterday a ring, and it says, I told you this before, Ani ledodi vedodi li. And I said, I said, I don't know, my Rabbi told me that there's no name of Hashem in it. So this Rabbi paskin to her that it's okay. And I told her it's not okay, because you don't need it's not for only the disgrace of the Hashem's name. It's a pasuk. It's a verse. Let's say if it says Shema Israel only. It's a verse from the Torah. Yeah. You can put it. Okay. It's a big problem. So it's better not to have these kind of rings and jewelry. Okay. You don't need persecutors talking against you for doing such things. They're looking and digging every aspect in our life. We don't need that. Verses from the Torah, Shir HaShirim, whatever, keep it outside of the restroom. It's not appropriate. Definitely, which is the name of Hashem, it's a problem. It's the only way to bring it into the toilet, to this area, unclean area, is to wrap it in 2 wraps. Okay? So it's an inside pocket, and it's 2 wraps, it's not a problem. Okay. It is forbidden to cut one's hair during Chol HaMoed, whether it is a hair on one's head or anywhere else in one's body. Even if someone was incapable of cutting his hair before Yom Tov due to unforeseeable circumstances, he may not do so on Chol HaMoed. Is that halacha related to men and women? What's only for men? We'll see at the very end. We have 9 halachot. Number 2. It is permissible to trim a mustache. How do you say mustache in Hebrew? Safam. Safam. In Arabic, shawarem. It is permissible to trim a mustache on Chol HaMoed, even if it is not so long and does not disturb one's while eating. A guy says, listen, I have a bris for my son. Chol HaMoed. Can I take a haircut? Fix my beard? What about the mohel? Even if circumcision is performed during Chol HaMoed, the father of the infant, the mohel, and the sandak may not cut the hair in honor of the occasion. What if he shaved it before the holiday and he wants to fix it with a machine or with a special, there is also, what do you call it, some sort of cream that you put, and then you just wash it off. If someone shaved his face before Yom Tov using an electric shaver or depilatory cream, depilatory, right? Right. Depilatory cream, he nevertheless may not shave again on Chol HaMoed. This is so even if he habitually shaves every 2 or 3 days. One of the poskim rule that if someone is poor and has no money which to purchase food for the festival, it's permissible for others to hire him to cut their hair and to shave them. Most of the poskim, however, strongly disagreed with this and ruled that it is forbidden. To be honest with you, I never met yet a poor barber. It looks like that this guy has a minimum expenses and maximum profits. It's using the same scissor, the same machine. So, but maybe you can call a poor guy and say, help me out. He can act as a barber for you. Okay. If someone had been imprisoned, okay, and was released during Chol HaMoed, it is permissible for him to cut his hair and to shave. This is so even if he had been imprisoned by Jews who had permitted him to shave before Yom Tov. It is likely that the prisoner was tense over his situation and was not emotionally capable of cutting his hair and portraying himself while imprisoned. So we don't judge him, okay? We have the... Remember we said someone comes from the prison. Everyone started Kiddush. It's already 11 at night. He came home. He have no candles. The halacha permit him to light candles, not to remove from an existing. To light a candle on Yom Tov. Take the matches and start a new fire. Because he was imprisoned. Because some opinion on Yom Tov permit to light. Most opinion says you have to use an existing fire, right? But this is a special case, so the halacha permit to someone like that to start a new fire on Shabbat. It's a special case. Don't learn from that about regular cases. Okay. In all these cases, the person cutting his hair should do so off-site of the public. He may hire a Jewish barber. It is not necessary to search for a non-Jewish barber. In any case, he should have his hair cut as soon as possible, so he will not appear unkempt during the festival. You see how important it is, the appearance in Judaism. It's very important. You show respect. It's not just what you feel inside, and you have kavanah, and you really love Hashem, and you respect the Torah. You need to also show that you dress up properly, like you are coming before a king. It's very important in Judaism, okay? There's a question, maybe I'll leave you with this question. There's a question that just pops up in my mind that, you know, they're choosing the Kohanim to serve in certain, especially the Kohen Gadol, has to be a beautiful figure. With the beard, the height, they have no blemish, no defect in his body. Well, you disqualify that Kohanim. Poor guy, he born with defect or something. Why? Why the Kohen in the Beit HaMikdash needs to look like, give me an example, a model. What's the reason? If you want to answer, you can look in Sefer HaChinuch. It's a mitzvah 275. You get the answer there. Come with the answer next week. Let's see who will do his homework. Appearance in Judaism, it's so important that the Torah wrote it. It's important. Okay, last halacha for today. I will answer about the other halachot. Women, I don't think I have time. Someone was mourning over one of his parents, and the first 30 days came to an end during Chol HaMoed, and people have scolded him over his unkempt hair. One of the halacha, they have to tell him, hey, take a haircut. It's part of the halacha. He may cut his hair during Chol HaMoed. This applies both during Chol HaMoed, Pesach, and Chol HaMoed of Sukkot. As mentioned above, he should cut his hair out of the view of others. Again, someone will see you, might not know that you're a mourner. So you already permitted against everyone else. Everyone else is not permitted. Always do it in a hidden place. What about person say, okay, no haircut, but you know, when I'm washing my hair with shampoo, I'm losing a lot of hair. Is that not considered as like haircut? It is permissible to bathe with soap in Chol HaMoed and to comb out one's hair and shampoo it. One need not to be concerned for the fact that these activities causes hairs to be shed. Also, you know what? Let me answer about the woman. Katan. Let's take that. A woman may not trim her hair. When we say about men and women, it's everywhere in the body. It's not limited to the beard and the hair. Okay? A woman may not trim her hair during Chol HaMoed for cosmetic purposes. The halacha prohibit trimming hair during Chol HaMoed applies equally to men and women. Be'ezrat Hashem, next week we'll talk about trimming the fingernails. Shavua Tov.